What am I about? Continued. As one practices what's known as sadhana, spiritual life, in communion with the God-man, in my case, Adidar Samraj, more and more falls away. You see, the usual man wants to accumulate knowledge and material stuff, wants to accumulate emotional stuff, wants to communicate things from the past, wants to communicate more and more insights, wants to accumulate stuff to add, more and more to add. But true spiritual life is a releasing more and more. Rather than becoming more like this, one becomes more like this. Because the open hand hasn't got anything. We may have all heard of the phrase divine ignorance, and that's exactly it. The hand, the open hand disposition, is ignorant. And from that place, one performs. Everything is a kind of performance, a play on life, a play of conditional existence. Nothing is grabbed hold of and held on to. It's all released. True spiritual life is seen to be happening when there are less and less issues with the world, with your friends, with your neighbours, less and less of these what's known as attitudes. Notice how many issues you've got with people. Notice how much you blame others for your circumstances. Notice how much you expect others to make you happy. Notice how much you expect others simply to acknowledge you. It's a sense of you being important. Well, the open hand disposition is very important, but it's an importance that is not put on a pedestal, if you like. It's a natural, inherent importance of the open hand. This isn't important. This accumulation is utter nonsense. And you'll find that as it falls away, all of these attitudes and concerns and all that me, falls away, one finds a great divine humour behind it all. It's a humour that's unconditional. It's a humour that's not made. It's a humour that's not dependent. It's a natural humour. All due to this divine communion, falling in love with your chosen, as they say in the traditions, Ishta. And for me, Adidar has been my spiritual master for many years, and it's been a difficult relationship. I've rebelled many times. I don't want to know anymore. I become very adolescent. But it's as important as the sun is to the earth. We've got to keep returning to, because you'll see the God-man who has chosen Isha to be the sun, to be the brightness. The sun is prior to the clouds, and it's the clouds that have to fall away. Stop being a victim of your clouds. But you cannot stop being a victim unless you've got this great alternative. The alternative in my case is this relationship with the God-man, Adidar Samraj. in the traditions, for instance, the Christian tradition, they cannot entertain that there could possibly be another God-man. And in fact, I've never heard in the traditions or in the Christian circles that Jesus is a God-man. I've never heard of people saying that Jesus is a guru, but that's exactly what he was. And he asked people to fall in love with him. It's a case of falling out of love with this and into love with that. We've got to stop putting so much importance on ourselves. We've got to forget ourselves. And we do forget in remembrance of the God-man. Forget the clouds by remembering the sun. It's a practice. It's what's known in Sanskrit as sadhana. It's a spiritual life. It's of the spirit. You've got to be disillusioned, be fed up with all of this nonsense, and turn away from it to that which is greater. I sound a bit like someone trying to sell something. Well, we all know there's a sun, but it has to be sold. You have to be reminded that the sun is greater than the clouds. Thank you for listening. Any questions, please ask. Thank you. The way of the heart, out of the mind, into the heart. What's the purpose of life? We can't live life as happiness and joy and delight and intimacy with our fellow man.